The Orient Express, 1923. Rain lashed against the windows, blurring the French countryside into an impressionistic smear of greens and browns. Cecily adjusted the fox fur draped across her shoulders, a shiver tracing its way down her spine that had nothing to do with the chill. "Darling, are you even listening?" she asked, her voice a melodic counterpoint to the rhythmic clatter of the train. Arthur lowered his newspaper, a frown etching itself deeper into his already furrowed brow. "Of course, Cecily. Something about the Van Derlyn jewels being stolen again?" Cecily sighed dramatically. "Stolen, Arthur. Vanished. Poof, like smoke in the wind. And from under the nose of Scotland Yard, no less. Honestly, it's quite thrilling." Arthur grunted, returning to his paper. Cecily knew he feigned disinterest. Beneath his Cambridge-educated exterior, Arthur possessed a keen, almost unnerving intellect. He simply preferred to apply it to the stock market rather than society gossip. She glanced around the carriage. A portly man snored softly behind them, his face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. Further down the aisle, a figure in a dark overcoat stood motionless, his back to them. He had been standing there for the past hour, seemingly oblivious to the rocking of the train. "Arthur," she whispered, leaning closer, "do you find that man odd?" Arthur barely glanced up. "Everyone on this train is odd, Cecily. We're practically a traveling freak show." But Cecily wasn't deterred. There was something about the man's stillness, the way he seemed to blend into the shadows that prickled her skin. She watched him as the train slowed, approaching a small, rain-soaked station. The man in the overcoat finally moved, stepping into the aisle. As he passed their compartment, a glint of metal flashed beneath his coat, a small, ornate box. Cecily gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. The Van Derlyn jewels were rumored to be kept in a similar box. "Arthur," she hissed, grabbing his arm. I think he has them." Arthur, finally roused from his financial woes, followed her gaze. The man was already disappearing onto the platform, swallowed by the swirling rain and the gathering darkness. Without a word, Arthur grabbed his hat and coat. "Stay here, Cecily," he instructed, his eyes gleaming with an uncharacteristic spark. "This might be more interesting than the morning's market report." Cecily watched him disappear into the downpour, a thrill coursing through her veins. The Van Derlyn jewels, on the Orient Express. Perhaps this trip to the Riviera wouldn't be so dull after all. She leaned back in her seat, a mischievous smile playing on her lips. The game, it seemed, was afoot.